The Hood Nerd Podcast is brought to you by Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more podcast platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. As my man Sun Tzu would say, to fight and conquer in all our battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. It's your boy, the Hood Nerd, back at you again. Bring you another episode of the Hood Nerd Red Pill Talk, where we sift through all the BS, all the narratives, and just get down to the nitty gritty. The next episode is coming at you right now. Yo. It's your boy, the Hood Nerd, the king of commentary, is back again with another episode of the Hood Nerd Red Pill Talk. This episode, we just gonna sit and sift through some of the BS this woman is talking about, but she's also gonna lend credence to what I've told you about who actually chooses Pookie and Ray Ray. She's gonna give it away for you, but this is a professional black woman. I'm getting ready to let you hear this video of almost 12 minutes. She's gonna speak to what her and other professional black women, because I can't speak for black women. But again, I always tell you, all I'm gonna do is address what's said. These won't be my opinions. These will be what is actually coming out of somebody's mouth. So it won't be me speculating on it. But in this little 12-minute video, I hope, it's football Sunday. Hoping my Packers, it ain't my Packers, I'm a Bears fan, but hoping the Packers knock the Vikings off. I get very much joy watching the Vikings lose. But, I'm going to try and make this one short so I can get back to doing what I'm doing. I'm hoping not to go over the 40-minute mark. Hopefully I'm done by halftime. Won't rush it, though. Can't rush greatness. So, let's get ready to break this video down. And let's see what she's talking about.
Your videos that, you tell the men, hey, black men, these black women don't respect you all. You are telling the truth. However, my problem with that statement is that you never come behind to explain why. Well, you do, but I just kind of wanted to help.
And right there, she shows you she's a liar and a manipulator. Just that quick. I just want to come and tell you that you don't really give an explanation for why we do it. Well, you do. Which means I'm really just calling in a dump on them. And I'm hoping you'll put this up on your channel. So, we'll continue now. I press play. We'll continue to see what she says.
I wanted to explain to you why it is that us black women find it difficult, and I mean very difficult, to respect black men. I'm black myself, okay? And I am from the South, and I'm well traveled. So when I speak about the black men that I'm getting ready to speak about, I'm not only talking about Southern black men. I mean, I've experienced French.
Now that well traveled statement, that's a double entendre, guys. You gotta catch it. She's been down south and up top on so many different levels. But when a woman tells you she's well traveled, like I told you before, a lot of times the type of mileage she talking about is not the type of mileage you think she's talking about.
Relationships with men all over the United States. David, one thing you need to know about black men that black women are becoming very, very fed up with is we have to become the caretaker. Okay, let me put it to you this way: we have to suddenly turn from girlfriend to mama within a matter of days when we date them.
You don't have to. And you haven't just gotten fed up. You got fed up in the 60s. So I'll keep telling you guys, when she joined that fight on welfare and she joined the white feminist movement, she left the black man. She stopped holding his hands. Somewhere in the civil rights movement, she stopped holding his hands and she went and held that white woman's hand. And she went and they furthered a whole nother agenda. But the nuclear black families agenda was going by the wayside. And there's a lot of black women who, to clear this up, they continue to think, and I get emails about it, DMs about it, you just hate black women. Far from the truth. I despise feminist women, especially the new age feminist woman, because it's all about black female supremacy. And in order to have black female supremacy, you must now degrade the male in the process. See, it's not about equality. And that's why she just got through rambling on about we got to go from girlfriend mode, wifey mode to mama mode. Well, who started that? Mama started that. I've said this countless of times already. And we just at episode 14, 15 at this point now. When that boy comes out, he's in a weird situation. He's put in I'm the child mode. I have siblings, so I'm the big brother mode. I also need to be the father figure for my siblings mode because mama has slept with I don't know how many different guys, which this woman will allude to. Don't worry. But he goes into that I need to be the big brother mode. Then mama needs him to be husband mode and son mode. And when I say son mode, it's still her showing her authority in the house, saying, you're going to do what I tell you to do. Yet, on the other hand, she's going to say, I need you to step up and be a man in here. So, hey, how can you ask him to be a man, but then on the next side, when he's being a man, you say, you don't address me like that, though. You do as I say, not as I do. Which is very retarded. It's a very retarded statement to make. Because what it's actually telling you is, I can be bad and do bad. You just better not do it. And see, when somebody tells you, do as I say, not as I do, that person is coming to you, looking you in the eye and say, I'm a hypocrite. Off the rip. That's what they're telling you. I'm a hypocrite.
What I mean by this is, I can't be a woman with this black man. I can't sit back, put on my pretty shoes, doll up, so you can come take me out. No, because guess what? I have to treat. I got to take you out.
So now, again, you remember I just said this also. She loves Pookie and Ray Ray because that's all the professional black woman is going to date. Because there's an allure, there's an appeal from the thug to her. She needs that. Because when she say you can't treat, obviously she ain't messing with somebody who has a job. I can't be a real woman. I can't dress up the way I want to. Depend on the occasion. Yes, am I gonna never be a suit and tie guy? Mm, depending on the occasion, you might catch me in a suit once every couple of days, but it's not a couple of days, couple of years. But my job is not mandatory for me to be in a suit. There's no place really I'm going to eat where I'm gonna be in a suit. Now, you see me in a button up, some khakis, or a button up and some jeans and some casual shoes or boots, or just whatever I'm comfortable in. I'm not gonna be dirty or whatever. That's fine. My swag is my swag. The thing is, you're now insecure about what you think the world thinks of what we look like as a couple. And the bigger insecurity is what the world thinks about you. There's never a point in time I'm out with my girl where I'm telling her, yo, you need to go put this on, or you need to take that off. Well, yeah, we can't be together looking like this. No, I'm confident in who I am. If you're confident in wearing what you're wearing, wear it. Now, of course, our styles of dress are totally different. My girl's more of a biz. She has more business attire. She dresses that way. You may catch her in jeans and a t-shirt, maybe, maybe 10 times, 10 to 20 times out of the year. But she's more just slacks, casual shoes, dress, button-up shirt or whatever, casual shirt, blouse, and a skirt. But we just have two different things. But she know how to dress down for the occasion. She know how to dress up, and I'll do the same. So that's what I'm saying. When she's making that statement that he can't even dress, I can't even get fancy really with this guy. What she's telling you is I picked Pookie and Ray Ray. And I'm gonna tell you why they picked them again. It's all for sexual purposes. Sexual purposes and insecurity purposes. See, she wants to be in control. See, she knows, the black feminist knows if she goes and dates a guy who makes just as much as her, guess what she doesn't have? Control. She doesn't have financial control. She can't pull the purse strings. And if you can pull, as long as you own the purse strings, you can basically get this guy to do whatever you want to. But see, when you get somebody who can fend for themselves, he'll tell you, as I would say, tell a woman in a relationship, I can take it or leave it. We can either be in one or not be in one. But that's fine with me either way. And that's kind of the problem we get with a lot of these situations. You have a lot of these women now that choosing Pookie and Ray Ray to be in a relationship with. And when I say Pookie and Ray Ray, I'm not talking the hood dude. The hood dude who's out grinding and working. That's not the guy I'm talking about. When I say Pookie and Ray Ray, what I'm referring to is the dude who just sitting at home on a video game all day, not working, doesn't do too much of anything, don't even cooking. He don't even hold up his end of the bargain at home. Okay, you ain't work, you don't work. If that's y'all dynamic, that's fine if you don't work. Because that is what it is. It could be kids involved. I don't know what that is. But at that point, then you need to assume the role of what a stay-at-home mom would be, stay-at-home parent. You should be cooking, cleaning, making sure the dishes washed, put away, taking out the garbage, making sure the children's homework done, those type things. If she need a back rub or whatever, you should be tending to all of that. But again, when you deal with Pookie and Ray Ray, these are also men who are now, they've been raised in single parent households. And see, this is the same woman who will tell you what black women tired of, but then you have to go now ask her and say, well, where's ground zero to this set, Miss Lady? And she'll tell you, well, his daddy wasn't around. And then you'll say, well, who picked his father? It still takes two to make a baby. No, you make the decision that was who you wanted to be the father of your child. See, a lot of these women, they're ground zero for this problem now. Instead of them, which she'll allude to, instead of them going to find the so-called nerd that's weak and don't have no swag to kind of be a father figure and somebody steady in their child's life. That's not what they want at a young age. I told you, at a young age, all they want to do is have a good time and be sexually satisfied. That's it.
Most of the time, you don't have a car, so I'm having to pick you up. If you do have a car, I probably have to get the gas. And if we ever do make it out, guess what? The waiter, he's going to bring me the ticket, because not only does he already assume that I'm paying, but he's naturally going to assume it because the black man I'm with look like a teenager, David. He looks like a teenager. He's got an oversized shirt on, jeans, and tennis shoes. Okay, I'm dressed in a business suit, and this is what he comes out.
Now again, I've had this conversation with my mother on countless times. Was, yo, who raised these children? Well, it takes two to make a baby. Your father. She's telling you now. It's like I've told my mother. You picked my father. You picked him not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. With all the evidence you had, you picked him to continue to keep having children with. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. But see, if I say it's crazy, they'll say you don't understand. And don't just blame me, blame him. No. You knew after me what it was. You definitely knew after the second time what it was. You knew after the third time what it was. And then there was a 4th time. So now we get back to her and what she just said. And what is she telling you? I'm a well-to-do woman. I'm well off. Yet the guy I'm going to dinner with in 4 and 5-star restaurants is in big, oversized, baggy jeans, baggy t-shirts, probably braids, probably a headband on, and probably a pair of ones with the toes curled with the little crease in the toe, with them turned up. This is who she's going to procreate with. And then 10 years from now, we'll be having this conversation saying black men don't protect black women. We'll be having the same conversation again about black men don't protect black women. Black fathers are not in the homes with their children. And the next question you have to ask yourself is then, if they're not in the home, if that guy's not in the home, he's skating out on his responsibilities, who chose him? See, I heard this with a whole different set of ears than what I hear a lot of people who listen to this are. What they in the comment section. And see, to be honest, like I said in earlier episode, you are what you attract. And like Uncle Dave said, you are what you attract, and what you can attract, you're not. Now, you can take that statement for how you want to take it. But for somebody to be this well spoken, to be dealing with that, to purposely choose the Pookie and Ray Ray, is very alarming on so many levels. But it's like I said, it's about control. She knows already, I have to take him out. I'm going to drive him around. He ain't got no job. He going to sit here and play the video game. So all this is live-in penis sitting at home for her. That's it. When she gets home, she has somebody to say, that's my man, we have sex. So that's all she's getting out of it. There's nothing else she's getting out of it. And to be in control. Now, the dream for them with this guy is, and I'll tell you why they keep going to this guy, is because they don't think too much of themselves. But what they can do is, instead of dealing with their own issues, I'll try and go and save Pookie. Turn him from the guy that she's talking about now, into the corporate dude. And then 10 years from now, It's kind of like on the movie, I think it was called Acrimony, when Taraji did all that she could. And it was like, I'm going to hold you down. I'm going to hold your dream down to make sure he made it. So then she could beat on her chest and say, look at everything I did for you. That's all this is really about, to be honest with you. It's just one more notch on the belt. It's a notch on the belt to tell her how great of a woman she is. Not that she believes she is, but she needs the accolades to tell her how great of a woman she is. Because without the accolades, she can't look in the mirror and look at herself and say, I'm enough. She needs all these other things with her.
To dinner with me. This is just your typical black male now. I don't want you to think that I'm talking about all black men, but this is your typical one. Also, David, this is what black women get sick of, okay?
And notice, again, like I told y'all last episode about listening to the words. When they say typical, and then she say not all she's saying is typical. This is the majority of them, though, which is a lie. But this is the stereotype. When these black women love to say, look at how they portray our black men on TV, who do you think helps portray us like that? Who do you think helps to portray the black man like that on TV?
Have to take care of you. We have to provide room and board for a man that we haven't had a chance to invest anything with. What I mean by that is we have to take you into our home. We've got to feed you. We've got to clothe you. We've got to bathe you. We got to give you groceries to eat.
And again, listen to what she's saying. That we have to. You don't have to. But you know you can't control the alpha guy. You don't really want the blue collar guy. So again, what they're telling you is the guy we can get. We want the homeless black. We want the homeless black man. You gotta understand, and this is why the MGTOW movement is picking up the steam that it's picking up. Listen to what I'm telling you. Just break that down real quick. I would rather have a homeless, dirty looking, can't fend for himself thug who's not intelligent but can at least have sex with me. I would rather have that as an educated, pretty decent looking woman than to be in any type of 50-50 situation. Hey, y'all think I'm crazy when I'm talking about black female supremacy, man. These things exist, man. Like I said, it's not just me. I don't just bring these things just out of the sky, man.
We gotta let you use our electricity, our phone, our car. Pretty much we're taking on another child. Is what it is. You are an additional.
Now, this is a woman who's been hurt by a few of these guys because she just told you he ain't got a license and can't drive. And she'll come right back now and say, yeah, but I got to let you use my car, my electricity, my bathtub. So what you basically saying is I picked somebody up out the shelter. I mean, it's not surprising to me. But like I said, this is what she's telling you. And she said the typical black man. She didn't say just the one I dated. She said, no, this is the typical black man. And I'm here to tell you guys, this is what professional black women, the majority of them, this is what they think. This is their agenda. This is why the nuclear family has gone completely left. This is why we're in the 70-something percentile of single black mothers at this point. See, in the Moynihan report, they talked about this. This is becoming a problem. And see, black women don't seem to understand this at this point. You need both people at home to make this work. See, you can't say I'm a queen, I'm a black queen, You can only be a queen if you got a king. But like I said, they're going into their own world now. They got a 60-year head start on black men. And it's why I've started to advise black men. Cut your losses, man. Going on the other way. If you don't, I'm not telling you to just leave black women alone. Because I've never once I've dated outside my race. But I date black women. But I also know how to sift through a lot of the BS. I also know you're not going to push me over. I also was raised by what I would say the generation and the first model of the I can do that all by myself woman. So I know how this game works. I can see through it a mile away. Not most black men can kind of see through it. And they're too afraid to come down the rabbit hole with me. Because like I've told them, you can't unsee what I've seen and you can't unhear what I've heard.
Child in our home. I mean, hopefully we can claim him on our taxes, right? And then when the black men do come into these women's lives, they come like children. David, they come like a sleepover. They are nomads, okay? And what I mean by that, they have their typical backpack. You name me anybody, I'm telling you, they come with their backpack, and guess what's in the backpack, David? They got their Xbox, they got a PlayStation, video games, little boy stuff. This is what they got. They come and they sleep on the couch. They're an additional child. They are an additional burden.
Now, that again, that statement right there is why a lot of black men have started to leave and get out of the dating black women. Because black women think there's a playbook to this. Like there's a way a man and a woman is supposed to act. They don't understand just being themselves. And if you watch a lot of them, everything they do, movements, the way they talk, everything is about what pop culture is doing. Black women, they rarely allow a black man to be themselves. And for any of you black women who listen to this, especially married black women, or even single black women, even black men, ask yourself this one real question before we go to break. How many of you guys can actually be who you are? How many of you men can actually be who you are in a relationship without being made fun of? You got to hide your comic book love, your baseball card love, your basketball card love. If you like to play video games, you got to hide that. They'll tell you, oh, a grown man doesn't do this. A grown man goes to church, he reads, he does this. So then you bring up church conversations. And they'll say, oh, those little kid games. And then you say, well, I don't believe in religion, or I don't really go that route. They'll go dead to the preacher at that point. You know what he'll tell them? Not a God-fearing man. He don't belong with you. And I say that point to bring you into this. If he wants to be with you, a lot of times these men are getting saved and joining religions they don't want any part of, but they're doing it just to be with you. That's how much they love you. That's how much they just want to be loved by a woman. They're willing to not be themselves anymore. They're willing to give up everything to become solely your best friend to make you happy. Well, I'm here to tell you, black man, you don't have a lot of time guaranteed on earth. Enjoy life. If you can't be yourself with the woman you with right now, I advise you to start setting up your exit strategy immediately. We going to break. Now, when we left off, I clearly stated I would advise you to start getting your exit strategy together. And I say that only to really say this. At some point, she's going to get bored with you being her best friend, her everything. She's going to start to say, I feel suffocated. This ain't really what I want. And now, you're going to start to be filled with so much resentment and anger because you're going to be thinking, yo, I gave up everything. I cut off my friends. I basically cut off my whole life to basically make you happy. There are things I enjoy to do in life that I don't anymore. I do things that make you happy. Like I get up and go to parties to make you happy. I sit and watch these corny TV shows to make you happy. I sit up and listen to you read books and do all these other things instead of doing what makes me happy to make you happy. And at that point, you'll go look in the mirror and you won't really even recognize yourself anymore. You'll then reach out to close friends of yours. And you'll ask them what's going on. And they'll say, yo, we've been telling you about this for the last, 5-6 years. You want to listen to us. And me, I'm one of those friends, hey, if you're happy, man. You do what you got to do to make your relationship work or your situation work. So, if you needing to morph into somebody else is going to make you happy, go ahead. Now, I know it's a dead end. Because I know the only way for a relationship to truly grow is you must be evolving individually. She must be evolving individually. There's no such thing as evolving together. Your brains don't work together. But not a lot of people understand that. They don't get that. See, what it is you make a decision. Every couple of years or so, you should sit back and reevaluate your relationship and say, is this the person I've evolved into, the person she's evolved into, is that still a good fit? If you don't have any children, if it's not a good fit, and you guys don't have a great friendship, then you should probably think about getting out of there. Now, when you have children, you got different responsibilities at that point. So then you start to see, okay, how can we make a move over here to kind of mesh well with this over here? And let's try and figure out how to cohabitate and co-parent and still be in a relationship and be cordial in it until children usually leave for school. Because that's when parents get divorced, that's usually what happens. Once the children leave the house, you kind of have to be friends again, or it's not going to work. See, as long as children are in the house, there's always going to be this thing going on where we really only have to see each other for an hour or two. I'm going to work, you going to work. Once we home, we got all these children to occupy us. Once that happens, that's kind of the children kind of occupying us. Once they go to bed, we going to sleep. It's 10, 11 o'clock at night. We can ready to go to bed now. We ain't really got to do too much talking. And you can kind of repeat this whole motion in this thing for an easy 10, 15 years without even really realizing anything wrong, because you're going to come together as a family on Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the major holidays, birthdays, all of that. You'll kiss periodically. You'll go to the movies periodically. You'll have sex a few times out of the year. And in your head, you've been doing it for so long like this, you just think it's normal until the children leave. And once the children leave, you'll then look up and say, hey, yo, this don't fit. This don't fit. And I'm really not even cool being in this situation anymore. So, that's kind of why I was just saying, if you can't be yourself, I would advise you to leave. And I would advise you to go find a woman where you could be yourself with.
They're not coming in to invest. They're not coming in to contribute. You know what? A lot of times us black women, and me specifically, I've had to encounter situations where I want to make something work with a brother.
And real quick, she said they're not coming in to invest or contribute. Well, if you got him out of the shelter and he doesn't have a job and he doesn't understand how to be a man, what is he supposed to come in and invest with or contribute? He can't invest anything with you. You already acknowledged you knew he ain't had nothing from the jump. So you knew he wasn't coming in to invest and contribute. You can kind of tell the first few conversations you have. So the next question I would ask is, why would you be moving somebody like that into your home? That says more about you than anything, but we'll keep moving.
But he doesn't have any potential. You know why? He doesn't have any job skills. His criminal record is all screwed up.
You know why he doesn't have any potential? Because mama don't think she needed a man around. See, there's a direct correlation between what happened in the 60s until now. And like I said before, whether black women want to accept it or not, we've been living in a matriarchy for the last 55 to almost 60 years now. These black men you are complaining about were raised 75, I think it's 74, 75% of the black mothers are single. These men and these boys you complain about, you raised them. And you chose the fathers. You are ground zero.
Really don't got a driver's license, so hell, whenever we are out, I gotta drive him around again like he's the child or the woman. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say we can't be women with them. I gotta help him fix a resume because surely he doesn't have one. I gotta teach him how to dress for the interview. I have to, give him vocabulary to use. He still talks like a child. David, they're children. A black woman who's successful, she doesn't want another child.
So now, again, you have to ask yourself. She keeps telling you all of this that she's getting out of black men she's dating. And a black successful woman doesn't want a child. So the next question is, why are you choosing them? Why are all of your counterparts, why all of your fellow black women, I should say, not counterparts, why are your fellow black women choosing them? Why are the successful black women saying, yo, he a little too nice for me, I want a thug? Why are they doing that? Because you're acknowledging he ain't got a driver's license, he can't talk, don't have a job, can't contribute. So I'm asking myself, and I'm still puzzled by this. Why are you moving them in?
This is not what she wants. She wants a man. She wants to feel their security. This is in nature.
She don't want a man. She wants a male body, which is why it's so easy for them now to date butches. And that's when I can honestly tell you when I started to see all of this and it started to really make sense for me. See, I never had a problem with black women saying, yo, I don't like black men. I'm a lesbian. I don't deal with men. That's fine. But when I start seeing you with men who walking around with strap-ons on a day-to-day basis to make penis prints through their jogging pants, they got haircuts just as low as mine. I'm almost bald head. They got the raspy voice. They got a mustache. You want a man. You're confused at this point. And see, those type women, I definitely try and tell black men, stay away from, man. She's confused. That woman's been damaged already, man. She damaged goods. I don't care what her degree says. I don't care how nice she talks to you. She's done already, man. That chick for the streets, man. She done. She gone. You got to let her be. And see, a lot of black men, they get upset and they come to me and they say, hey, yo, you're a little too harsh. But you know why they feel I'm too harsh? Because I'm describing a sister. I'm describing a mother. I'm describing some of these cats' grandmothers. Because some of these guys at this point, their grandmothers in their late 40s, early 50s. And it hurts to have to look at them that way. But see, these same guys, if they see a woman who's not related to them behaving like this, they have no problem with the rhetoric. None at all. Which lets me know your real issue is what you see that's close to you. And you don't want to have to ever really say, yo, my sister is this. My mother is this. My grandmother might be this. Hell, my daughter might be this. To me, like I said, if it was my own daughter behaving like this, I'm going to call her like I see it. And it is what it is. I don't hold or pull any punches.
David, I also had a problem with you saying how black women, we just melt in the arms of white men. We all tame with them, but we wild with y'all. Well, I'm just going to be honest with you. That's because white men provide security. And not only in the forms of financial security, but physical security. Black men are cowards, and I think a lot of people know that by now. They're effeminate. The reason why I say they're cowards is because they're extremely effeminate. When I'm arguing with a black man, I feel like I'm arguing with one of these females out here. I'm a woman, okay? When I get upset and my voice gets loud, hell, his getting loud.
And again, like I just said, even though you guys think I'm crazy, black men been gone from home for 65 years now. Who raised them? Who raised these boys? Who raised these effeminate boys you talking about that black women so upset with? And this is what Shahrazad Ali again was saying. The black woman is exempt from examination. You can't look at this. You don't want to look behind the curtain. She the Wizard of Oz. But see, I'm going to tell you who the black woman truly is. She's the Wiz. She's Richard Pryor in The Wiz. You remember when Toto went behind the curtain? And what he say? The Wiz is out. He's out. He's not here. And what did Dorothy look? What did Diana Ross look at him and say? A phony. Nothing but a phony. And that's exactly what I look at black feminists as. Phonies. Nothing but a phony. Because there's no way you could then say white men provide protection when all these white men look at us as savages. They walk on the other side of the street. They don't want to be bothered with us at all. So I'm confused with that type of rhetoric. And I think it's a BS comparison. I even think it's a BS comparison financially. Because there's studies being done that say when it comes to fathers, black fathers are the most in tune with their children. But it's just like the conversation I just had. We don't, as a culture, we don't think it's good unless white people acknowledge it. We don't think anything is good unless they acknowledge it. We go completely crazy when it comes to certain issues. And it's always the same with integration. We've always been looking for their acceptance and their acceptance on. And it's why I tell you guys, she's in a fight. She's in a fight with the patriarchy, but she's in a fight with the white patriarchy. She's in a fight for total supremacy at this point. And the only person in front of the black woman at this point that's in her way from total supremacy is the white man. That's it. She's not looking to be a family with a black man anymore. And like I said, I've had black women come to me and tell me, yo, you're a little too harsh. You're a little too far to the left. Well, the numbers say 73, 74, 75% of black mothers are single. I would say I'm not too far off. I would say I'm hitting it spot on at this point.
Come on. He's supposed to be the male. He's supposed to be the voice of reason, but he getting loud with me. We sitting up arguing all night like two damn women.
And it's why I tell you, man, do not engage. Just get out. Get out as fast as you can. Do not engage. I've always told you, I learned that trick from my mother at a young age. All they are looking for is the reaction. They don't care good or bad. That's why you'll hear the Meg Thee Stallions in interviews say, yo, I was in a toxic relationship. I thought it was all love, but, you know, we love toxic and all of that. They don't care if they get hit a lot of the times. Even go to the song Kanye did when he said, everybody feel a way about Ye, but at least they feel something. And see, in my previous relationship when I was married, that was a big issue with us. She would always say, you show any emotion. I wish you would just get mad. Tell me what you really feel right now. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. And that's not how a man behaves. You don't never fly off the handle with a woman. A, because there's a distinct physical advantage for me if it gets physical. B, I don't care who you are. I'm not going to jail for any woman. It just ain't happening. So see, I already know once it goes to yelling, if I put my hand through a wall or I bang too hard on the table, the damsel in distress will then come out. And at that point, the police gonna come. And once she called the police, who she's gonna swear up and down, black man, we trying to protect you from, but y'all show love calling them on us more than enough. But the second they come, guess what they see? Big black aggressive guy. 6'6", 280, 285. They see a little 5'7" woman. You already know what they think happened. So it's why I tell guys, stay quiet. If she yelling, let her yell. Politely get up and just leave. Leave out the house, man. Go in the basement. If she blocking the door, go sit in the bathroom for an hour. So just lock the door till she cool off. Now, most of them will be He-Man at this point and bust down the bathroom door because that's just the masculine energy that they have at this point. And it's why she will tell you she's dealing with black men who are feminine, but that also goes to who raised them. That's why I tell people, that's why the gun violence is the way it is now. Because she just told you. Who yells, screams, reacts first, and apologizes later? Those are things women do the majority of the time. Men don't behave that way. So when you see a guy getting into it out in the streets and he's yelling and screaming and something happened, and then it's just like, no, I'm not going to calm down and go the other way or go do this. I'm going to just pull out the gun and shoot him. That's how women behave. You shoot first and then they go to the courts and then they sit and they fall out and they crying and they, oh my God, I can't believe this happened and all of this. And it's just like, it's like I said, man, I know what ground zero is to this issue already. And we just don't want to acknowledge it. We just don't want to acknowledge it.
He's in the mirror longer than me. He's getting pretty. He's getting cute. He's swinging his dreads around. You know, it's just, they're not masculine enough. They're just not. They can't contribute. They're nomads. You know, they, like I said, they come with an extensive criminal background. Not to mention, they come with children from more than 2 or 3 women. Oh, David, we're sick of that. I got to deal with your baby mama drama. And I usually don't use that term, baby mama, but you know what I'm saying. We got to deal with their other kids' moms. And I think since these men are so effeminate, they actually like that attention. They like to see her calling me and I'm calling her and they love the attention. Again, like females. This is what they're like to us. It's just too much, David. It's too much. They're not.
They love the drama. Love the attention. Like females. Now, see, the second I would say that's how women behave, I would always push back and say, no, that's a lie. But in weeks to come, I'm going to have conversations, physical proof, from groups I'm in now, where you watch women and how slick they maneuver behind the scenes. How slick they are with the advice they give. I'm watching a woman in a Facebook group right now as we speak, and I don't even know if her husband knows, being given advice right now to plot for the next 2 years to get out of there. He don't have a clue. And she only want to leave at this point because sexually he doesn't satisfy. But he pays all the bills. And it's why I tell guys, it doesn't matter whether you do everything you're supposed to do. At a certain point, my man, it is a wrap. She's going to get bored and leave. She's going to tell you, yo, I want to be a housewife. This is exactly what I want. I want a real man to take care of me and do all this and perform the way a man performs. And then the second he does that, then you get the Jeannie Mai situation, where she's on The View or whatever that show was. It's not The View, but The Real. That's the name of the show, The Real. She's on The Real, and you get Lonnie Love and knows I'm not being submissive to no man. Ain't no man gonna control me. And this is why I say they'll tell you how a man is supposed to act, and the second they get that man, oh, you trying to impress me. And then you'll get the ones who not saying you trying to oppress them, but yo, they was tired. He's a hustle for them. They were tired of going to school. They was able to get out, have a family, have their children, have their husband take care of them for the next 5 to 10 years. And then they're going to come to you with this conversation, man, somewhere in their late 20s to mid 30s. Look, I feel like I'm losing myself. I can't recognize myself in the mirror anymore. I didn't go to school to be a stay-at-home mom. Now, granted, this is what she told you she wanted from you in the beginning. This is what she told you she wanted from you from in the beginning. Now, you did all of this. And had you known this is what this would have been now, you wouldn't even been bothered with it. You would have went another way. But now that she's got the 3 children, you got the mortgage in your name, a couple of cars in your name, you don't have a choice. You've been put in the trick bag at that point. Checkmate. This is a game out here being ran and played on you guys, and you guys have got to wisen up to what's going on around you. If you find your best friend, that's cool. But even then, I tell you guys, your biggest and your worst enemy gonna always be your closest friend. In the end, you'll never really be able to solely rely on anybody but yourself.
They're not worth the energy. They're definitely not worth the sex, and they're just not simply worth the investment in the long run. Okay, when a woman is coming with her degrees and her job experience, her home, her car, no, she don't want him. No, David.
So if you don't want all of that, the next question is, why do you keep picking them?
That's not what we want. David, when we riding down the street, they look literally like clowns. Oversized clothes, baggy jeans, and what's with the homosexuality reference with them pants sagging? I can't take that anymore. I don't even know how black men think other people take them serious. What woman in her right mind is really seriously interested in, I'm going to give you my number? Give you my number for what? David, I remember one time I was at a gas station. The black man had his pants all sagging down.
Now, just listen to how she's walking you through all this. I ain't giving you none of this time. That she's telling you, yo, I done moved to men already. He ain't got really nothing to offer me. So why is he there? Are you that lonely? You can't look in the mirror? You not cool with being alone at home all the time? And see, the biggest problem is they keep telling you we moving toward white men. They're not really moving toward white men because unless you're talking superstars, you don't really see in major cities. The white men they going toward behave the same as the black men. Unemployed, sit at home, stay at home fathers, basically. But it's because he's white. And because they're always looking for that approval from him, they'll deal with it from him. Because he's sort of like the black woman. He's also basically exempt from a real examination also. So, they're basically a perfect fit for each other if you're going to be honest. But it's like I said, no alpha man that they trying to get, they're not going to get an alpha man with their behavior. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to put up with it. He got better options. So a woman like this, what do you get out of it? What are you getting out of dealing with that? You might as well just sit tight. You can be a playboy, basically, you're dealing with a woman like that. You can have 3, 4, 5 different women to satisfy different needs. Live by yourself and not deal with the headache at all. And be yourself. And when you want to chill, yo, I want to be silly today, I'll call her. I want to have a political conversation, I'll call her. If I want to get into going to church, I'll call her. If I need a good meal cooked, I'll call her. If I just want to go work out, I'll call her. And then you can figure out which one is the best sex buddy out of them all. But that's great advice I'm giving you when I'm telling you, you don't have to deal with it like that. There's no need to even deal with a woman like this.
Called himself wanting to get my number. What? That's another thing. Black men don't know how to talk or date, but I'll get to that. But basically, I guess he halfway thought, because he deal with ghetto women, he must have assumed that I was going to fall for his lame mess too, you know what I mean? And so he approached me and said, hey, can I get your number? Do you know what I told him? I wasn't afraid to tell him either. I straight up said, I looked around like I was looking for someone to be behind me, right? He was like,
now, just listen. She's telling you black men, the men she's dealing with, they don't know how to talk. This is a hood chick, which I promise you, I'm telling you, there's so many of these hood chicks, Rachel Dolezals, as I call them, penetrating through corporate America at this point. And we see these women in these suits. And see, the dead giveaway a lot of time is the bogus weave, man. I try and give guys just like little tidbits to look for. When you see the bogus weaves, the eyelashes too high, these are hood chicks. Chicks with the big hoop earrings and all of that. Don't really get fooled by the smile and where they at. Because they still came from someplace. And wherever they came from, whatever that foundation is, that's what they are.
What you looking for? I said, I'm thinking a man is behind me because surely you're not into women with your pants hanging down like that. He was embarrassed. Yes, he was, but I got back in my car and I went on about my way, okay? But back to what I was saying, they don't know how to date us. We want to be dated properly.
Now, this would be the same woman, though. Future got about 20 baby mamas. Same guy with his hair down the back. With his hair down his back. They love Lil Wayne. A lot of these guys got the dreads down their back. The hair has nothing to do with it. And my point to use those guys are the Lil Waynes and the Futures. They have all these baby mamas. And guess what it is? They don't mind. Because as long as they get money from you, they really don't care. They don't need you. All they need from you really is a child. That's it. They have a silhouette. Most black women grow up with a silhouette. It's like a picture. They have their parents, they have a dog, the house. It's them sitting right there. They have a child in front of them, and then it's an empty silhouette next to them. And all they're looking for is the guy to put in that silhouette. And there's a guy that they want, how they want him to act and all of that. They're going to try and transform you into that guy to stick you into that silhouette. What they don't ever realize is they'll never be happy with that silhouette because they don't really want that silhouette. We ain't ready to go to break. Now we back. Now, when I talk about that silhouette, you got to understand a lot of these women, they grow up, just women in general, they grow up wanting to be married. They've been taught that since they were children. Playing with Ken and Barbie and all of this. And as they get older, you'll hear some say, yo, I've given up on men and this is not the life I want. That's BS. It's in their head now. It's easier to live and tell themselves that just to kind of just accept it's never going to happen. So it's, okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to just live this life and all of that. And I'm just not going to be worried about it anymore. But when they're growing up, they grow up wanting the 2 kids, at least the 1 child. They grow up wanting the 1 child, a husband. I don't know if they want a dog and all of that. They want a husband who's going to get up and talk to them all the time and sit at the table with them with his legs crossed, drinking coffee, reading the newspaper, all of these things they see on TV growing up. Not things they really grow up seeing in their homes, but just you have to understand American TV has raised our children at this point. See, when they say back to your regularly scheduled programming, that keyword programming, they literally mean that programming. All of these things are being programmed into your mind as a child. So as you get older, it's, yeah, this perfect life I saw the Cosby's leading, nobody got cheated on. This didn't happen. That didn't happen. Yeah, when I saw great grandma and great granddaddy, they was married for 60 years. They was happy. Nobody knows any of the tough times. And that's why I tell you, that's why I say the elders did us a disservice. Because they really didn't sit down with us and have those real conversations to let you know, yo, these things happen or this happened. And, we worked through it and fought through it. We use those as the template. Those are the, I won't even say the template. Those are the models, though, we base our relationships off of. Yo, I want that Cliff and Claire love. Yeah, you see what they had? Two professionals. Even though that show really was the beginning for me of why I recognize, when you go back and watch it, it's where Black feminism really started to take its shape and become just like emboldened out even into mainstream America. I didn't really realize it then, but it happened then, Gina and Martin. But let me get back to what I was saying before I go off on a tangent. They have those models of what they want it to be, but you have to understand that's not reality. See, even when you watching these celebrities who you're trying to pattern your lives after, this is not reality. Jay-Z's real name is not Jay-Z. So you have to understand that's a character being played. This is a reality show we living in an everyday world. Lil Wayne, that's not his real name. So see, like when you start dealing with all of this, you starting to deal with people who playing a role at this point. It's like when Jay told Nas, you scribbled in your notepad and created your life. The Cardi B's and all of that. See, when these people go home, they being called something totally different. The camera's off. And it's why these people love to tell you I love my privacy, so they can go back to being who they are, just normal. That's just it. We're trying to pattern ourselves after created characters, things that aren't real. And it's just not going to work in society. But that's why this woman you hear, and a lot of these women you hear talk, they're so confused because they think what they're seeing on TV is reality.
Take me out, treat. Know how to dress when you take me out. Know how to court me. Black men, typically black men, they think a date is, I'm going to text you a few what's ups. I'm going to bring some weed or some drink to your house and then we're going to have sex. That's a date. That's a date? Y'all don't even know how to court us.
Right. But it's a date because you love Pookie and Ray Ray. That's why that's a date. That's because that's who you choose to procreate with. Like I said, that 30% of black men and black women I told you could be saved, if they would just be with each other, our culture would be so much further along. But the black man wants to be Captain Save-A-Whore. And this black woman is what this is. She's trying to save this black guy almost. Listen to what she's talking about. No car, no home, no job, doesn't provide anything. When he courted me for a date, he talking about what's up. Let's roll one up. Let's go smoke. Right. Look at who you're trying to date then. Could it be your terrible choices in men? Could it be that's what you're after? And I think this woman would be a lot better off if she would just say, yo, I like hood dudes, and just accept them for what they are. Because see, what a lot of these women want, they want the hood dude, but they want the hood dude who's the corporate dude mixed together. And you're just not gonna find that's maybe like 0.1% of guys out here. Those type of guys don't exist. And the ones who do exist, we wouldn't tell you who we were anyway, because we can see through the BS. But that's who she's looking for, that type of guy. But you're not gonna find that guy. So the nerdy guy, he's not tough enough for. He's not street enough for. See, that's when she was also referencing they don't protect us. They cowards. She ain't really referring to the hood dude though when she's really talking about that. What she's referring to when she's speaking about that is the nerd. That's the way to smack him in the face.
All right. If we do have a chance to get on the phone, you don't have anything to talk about, you know. If I talk about something on an intellectual level, I'm boring you to death because I ain't talking about Lil Wayne or something. Yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. They're too clownish. They're nomads. They're children. Black women are tired of having to be the woman and the man in a relationship. I don't want to pick you up for a date. I need to be picked.
Well, you can't be tired of that because, like I said, I was raised in I can do bad all by myself. When they children graduate from high school, that's what they're saying. I was mama and daddy. I raised them. And see, this right here is what I talk about in earlier episodes. When I tell you, you can see how all of this goes. And this is when I say a lot of these women aren't built to lead. Because they were all appraised for when they've developed him into this guy who's gotten out of high school and all of this. But the second he turns into the guy she's talking about right now, you get all of these black women saying, well, hey, if his father was around, well, we know what type of man you guys searching for. I don't think what she's saying qualifies as good father material. But you guys don't think that far ahead because in the beginning, all you're thinking about is yourself. And it's why I keep telling you guys, man, be very mindful of what's going on around you.
I'm a woman. Just go back to nature. It's all they got to do. And then I've heard a lot of black men say.
Now, when we use go back to nature, you know what you'll hear, though, then. You're a misogynistic pig, and you're trying to oppress us. This is why I tell you, in a trick bag with them. And black men are headed toward the silent generation. We'll be the ones who would just basically have to sit and deal with what we have to deal with and be silent about it in order to keep peace. Because they'll tell you you're soft, you're weak. Then they'll tell you, I need a man who's strong and can put me in my place sometimes. And then the second she get that type of guy, I was in an abusive relationship and he just didn't respect women. He was misogynistic. And that's why I just tell guys, man, you're dealing with a hood chick, man. You can't save her, man. She's psychologically damaged already. She suffers from the dear mama syndrome also. You just have to let her go.
Baby girl, this 2015. Women treat nowadays. And then, of course, at the end of that sentence, he's swinging his long dreads. Of course. Because he's feminine. You know, and I come from the old school. No, you still a man. Treat me. Take me out. Pick me up. Take me out.
She'll tell you, I come from the old school. But I come from I'm that hybrid old school. I'm from the old school of do all these things for me, but still let me evolve into what this 2015 woman is also. So it's kind of, I'm from the old school, treat me as such, but we're not getting ready to get back into a patriarchal society. We're not getting ready to get back into a head of the household situation. That's not what they're looking for. And it's why I tell you the double talk confuses most of you black men because you have a hard time connecting the dots. And it's like the hooked on phonics when they had to put that bouncing red ball for you to follow what's going on. You just can't follow it. It's moving too fast for you. You can't see what's going on right now.
That's just nature. That's the natural thing. You're supposed to be wanting to show a woman your ability to provide security, economic and physical security. That's just natural. That's in the animal kingdom. That's in the other cultures. But black men don't seem to have this ability.
Now again, what did she just tell you? I'm gonna just play it back for you.
I don't want you coming over my house camping out, going to my refrigerator, using up all of my electricity, cannot borrow your car. Woman, your ability to provide security, economic and physical security. That's just natural. That's in the animal kingdom. That's in the other cultures. But black men don't seem to have this ability.
And again, what are we talking about? She's recognizing that men and women aren't equal, but only when it suits her. See, when it's time to dump on you, then we'll get into this bag of, hey, yo, I need you to lead this way, lead that way, lead that way. Then the second you start doing that, you don't ask my input in anything. You don't really know how to. This is not the old days. I can make my own decisions. I'm my own woman. I'm my own boss. This is the confusion you deal with when you deal with a black feminist, man. And that's why I tell you guys, I can spot even the down low black feminist. But if she's an open one, you just gotta get up and go, man.
I don't want you coming over my house camping out, going to my refrigerator, using up all of my electricity, cannot borrow your car. Come on, be a man. If I just want another child, I just have me another child. Good grief, So anyway, David, I just felt the need to respond to you, letting you know. Because see, the next time now, I'm one of your long-time subscribers. I love listening to you, David. But next time you tell black men that this black woman don't respect you, you need to tell them why. Because trust me, it is not solely me. Trust me. I mean, we can't take them serious. They can't possibly think that we're going to continue on dealing with this black man in the state that he's in. Not only do you look like a clown, you act like a child, you can't do anything for me. Most black men think, well, I'm going to give her some good sex. This is how they think. They think on that small of a scale that your sex is going to get me. If that's what I can get that, but if I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that with somebody who can take me out. I'm going to get that with somebody who can have a decent conversation with me. I'm going to get that for somebody I don't have to drive around. I mean, if I'm going to give you some sex, that's who's going to get it. But anyway, enough of that. Just wanted to let you know how I felt on that topic.
And that's the end of the video. And what she told you at the end. It's not just me. But see, what she's not coming out to tell you at the end of all of this is they really don't ever want to come and tell you what ground zero is. And that's my biggest issue. You've raised what this is. Your choice and the men you've described on here are the reason why you can't find what you're looking to find. So, in closing, black man, the best I can tell you is if you run across a black feminist, get your Usain Bolt shoes on, man. Pew! Get out of there. This your boy, the Hood Nerd, signing out. I'll catch y'all next time.